All right, we live. We are in here. This is I say this every time. Take a shot every time Hink says this is going to be a short live, but no, this one I got to be done at 6:15. So really is going to be a short live. Before we go any further though, once again guys, updated the course. Whether or not it's a good thing is a question, but the my course is updated with Bathmate, and so we talk about Bathmate. I do a manual stretches demonstration, not using my actual self, but I use a surrogate. It makes sense, guys. We have extender talk in there. We have hanger talk in there. Um, of course, in-depth pumping with just air with both air pump and water pump. What's up, Gaddafi? What's up, my guy, Doc 72? What's up? What's up, Ian? Man, we got people joining in there. The other thing, guys, I get asked a lot, Pink, do you do consultation? Yes, I do consultation and coaching. I do it through my Patreon, patreon.com/Doc Hink. The link is in the description. And so you're upset I didn't get to your question. I'm sorry about that. You still want to ask me your question. I have a lot of different options, going all the way from like $200 a month, where you get multiple phone calls and unlimited messaging, to like, to everything to you can ask me just a few questions. So, anyways, let's get into it, guys. So, I am trying to just make this be like kind of a rapid fire PE only type of intro. And so, well, we don't have to be PE, but once again, it's only 30 minutes. So, let's do it. Uh, Gaddafi says, "What is insatiable appetite? What's up, bro? And thank you for the well wishes." Says, "What's the best routine for an extender?" So, I mean, it's kind of. I don't want to sound like a pompous douchebag, but it's kind of like, what's the best diet? And it's like the one that you can stick to. And so, and by that I mean it's going to be the one that you can be most consistent with. So, I think in general, when it comes to length work, like watch my video on like how much time to gain a half an inch. There's also my video that was basically what was the title of the video? But something like along lines like the best way to do length, or like how long should a routine be? I think that's it. And what we see uniformly when it comes to length is that more is actually more. Meaning, the more time you can put in with length work, the more you will actually grow. Because I do think that there is a set like hour time. If I'm not mistaken, offhand, it was something like 400 hours to get to a half an inch is what I calculated. Um, I have to go back and get some of those numbers in front of me. And so with extenders, you don't want to overdo it to the point where you have pain. But basically, I think ideally with an extender, especially if it's a higher tension extender, somewhere between 60 to 120 minutes a day, broken up into basically 30-minute sessions, would be the best thing. Now, that's not for a beginner. That's for somebody that's kind of teased it out and has had a has had multiple time with it. So so yeah. So Duke Fresh says 30 minutes. We about to be here for 3 hours. Yeah, that's for sure, bro. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Now this is actually going to be a shorter live stream. It's I literally have a hard cutoff at 6:15 my time, which is about another 25 minutes. I say, hey, Ronald's in the house. Happy Saturday to you, my guy Michelangelo. Um, so more for self, what is a beginner manual length routine that you would recommend? So guys, like I can't. What's up, Intimacy Nutrition Doc? I can't stress this enough, guys. The highest risk you are ever going to be for injury is in the beginning. Okay, because you're literally your tissue is not conditioned. And so literally when you expose your tissue to a stretch stimulus, there's literally something called mechanoreceptors that are like in your pee, okay? And when those mechanoreceptors are stretched, they were like, okay, we've got to adapt. We've got to change something. And so therefore they do things like they create additional collagen. In some cases, they can actually strengthen the extracellular matrix, the ECM, to actually like strengthen the tissue, especially over time. The point of that is like some of that can make it harder for you to gain, but ultimately it makes it less injury like a less risk of injury. So the point is that you got to start slow. So when it comes to manuals, typically Vigor, what up? My bigger addict, what up, my guy? C Dub, what's up, man? But when it comes to manuals, it's like 5 minutes. Like basically, what I would say is like start off with just like one 5 minute set of gentle pressure. Okay. Peso, what's up, man? Um, and then like I would say, like, every week, add additional 5 minutes, okay? Like, that's a very, very super conservative approach, and so but that's what I recommend typically when I'm coaching guys and starting off with no experience whatsoever, is to just take things slow, guys. You don't want to, risk injury. Now, guys, I'm gonna try to go live tomorrow as well, probably a little bit earlier for some of my people in Europe, and so, so yeah, so just a heads up with that because especially this is gonna be a shorter one. Let's see. So, guys, discoloration is something that almost exclusively happens with girth work traditionally. And so, who's my guy that answered this? Joseph. And so he asked me this. And so, no, not all PE causes discoloration. Using an extender should not cause you discoloration. There's a chance it can cause you stretch marks. Like, yes, there is a chance of that. But typically, when we talk about like the discoloration, the appearance of like bruising almost to the skin, that's something called hemosiderin staining, which I need to make another video about that. But the point is that typically you don't see that with length work, whether it be hanging, manual stretching, extending, of course. So JV211, I'm glad you could make the live, bro. Thank you for being in here. So so yeah, the totally lost what we're talking about. Yeah, so you should be fine if as long as you're not but if you're pumping or you're clamping. So basically what happens is that when you're causing additional pressure, whether it be negative pressure externally with the pump or whether it be internal pressure from clamping, you too much pressure causes the blood vessels to leak and they leak blood into the tissue. The blood breaks down into iron and so hemosiderin literally means like blood iron staining, okay? And so that's what happens. And so you're not at risk if you're just doing length work. Yeah, guys, I'm probably gonna ask this a couple times. If you don't mind, hit the thumbs up button. It costs you nothing, means a lot to me. And I would appreciate it. So thank you. So Hink, I use Safeguard and Shield. Dosage is 3. Should I take them all at once or throughout the day? Thank you very much for the support, man. I really appreciate you supporting our products. I typically, when I take it all at once in the morning. Basically, I get to work and I have a a work drawer and this is what the drawer looks like. It just looks like this, and I just got to kind of slam all those all at once. Um, but I would take all 3 at once. I would not take, like, 1 pill in the morning, 1 pill in the evening, and 1 pill at night. I would not do that. I would take them all at once. The timing, I mean, like, if I had to say, like, when is the best time for Safeguard, I would probably say about 30 minutes before you do PE, okay? Shield, I would say actually right before bed. Vitality, I would say right before bed. Virility, I would say, like, earlier in the day with a meal. Fortitude, I would say probably like 30 minutes before PE or desired activities. Hopefully that helps. Um, so, pa, pa, pa. So trim. So Yohink, what are the pros and cons of extending versus hanging for a beginner? Um, I think either is kind of fine. I mean, in general, like there's never been a study. I need to get Ben to do a study. Maybe that's what we need to do on the next Tink trial is to do a study just showing that hanging actually is safe and effective and leads to the same gains because there's no studies like that right now. So Ben, if you want to fund me doing a Hink trial 3, including the male hanger, you let me know, man. But the point is that I think hanging is fine. Okay. Like theoretically, I think when you have like a weight hanging off of your D, that it can 19 expansion X. What's up, my guy? Appreciate you being here, man. Um uh, I think that's just inherently there's just more risk when you have that like I don't know, like, if you're walking and, like, the weight gets hit on something, I don't know, I'm assuming you're gonna be stationary, but I just think, like, an extender in general is a slightly safer setup. Um, to me, though, like, if in a perfect world, my setup, because I'm deathly afraid of getting a blister, it doesn't make freaking sense. I mean, or maybe it does, but I don't want a blister, so I don't wanna use a vacuum cap, so I would use a compression hanger, like male hanger, and available peakmalephysique.com. Um, and I would actually have a setup where I would have like my desk here. I would have a pulley under the desk, and so I would be sitting here doing my work, and attached to my D would be the compression hanger and the weight on a pulley system. And so I could be like sitting here working with the weight like hanging in front of me. And I've seen people do that before. And so like I think that's a great setup. It just might take some ingenuity. To get that set up. But anyways, all you need to do is like screw a little like O-ring into your table. But anyways, I don't think one is necessary. No, I do think extenders have the most data, period. And I'm a data-based scientist. So anyways, um so my guy Duke Fresh, thank you for the super chat, man. He says, "I owe my deepest gratitude to you, Hink. I am a better, kinder man thanks to you. I hope you're having a good weekend. All the love, brother." Man, that's like the nicest thing that maybe anybody's ever said to me ever. And that's my goal, man. My goal is to be a good person and to be a kind person and to treat people fairly. And dude, it would blow you guys' fucking minds. Like there are some shit fucking people out there are some absolute piece of shit people out there. And you think you know people sometimes and yeah, and then they end up being absolute total pieces of shit. And so I still try to lead with gratitude and positivity, and I do believe in karma, and maybe this is some of the bad karma that I've built up. But anyways, man, I'm not trying to crash out when you send me like a genuine, endearing message. But it is what it is. Life happens, and you learn from it. And I do believe that struggle builds character, and yeah, and so onward and upward. But thank you, man. Weekend's going okay so far. No, the weekend is going fantastic. I'm healthy, my family is healthy. I've got everything that I need, and nothing I don't. And so yeah, man. So thank you very much for taking the time to send that message, man. And so Karan says, "What's the difference between bone pressed stretch flaccid?" Thank you for the super chat, man. Uh, should there be should be fuck, I can't read, guys. You guys know that. Let me put on my bifocals. What's the difference in bone press stretch flaccid length? Should be there before and after manual stretching to consider it productive. Okay. How often to measure track process progress? So there's different schools of thought, okay? I'm under the assumption that you shouldn't need a fucking nope, nope. Let me turn it down. Let me turn it down. The way I practice PE is that I don't think you need to have a calculator, and I don't think you need to have a spreadsheet, and I don't think you need to have a notebook to do it. For some people, they prefer to have those metrics, and that's very helpful for them to knowing how to do it. So to each their own, okay? Doc 72 says, my guy Ian says, "Let the hate flow." Uh, oh my gosh. Man, if you got hate in your heart, let it out. Okay. If you don't like Will and Grace, it don't mean there's a problem with you. It means there's a problem with Will. If you know, you know. But anyways, um, that came out probably before most of you guys were even born. So the point is that I don't measure before and after. I measure my stretch flaccid length probably a few times a month, maybe 3 times a month when I'm actively doing PE, because I think that is one of the best metrics to know whether or not you're growing. And so, um, but I don't think you necessarily need to say like, oh, my stretch flaccid was 0.2, 5.2 inches before this session, and after my PE session, it was 5.4. Personally, I think for a couple of reasons. Number one, I think it's hard as shit to measure that difference accurately, even when we're talking about like a tenth of an inch or 2/10 of an inch. Just the way like you push it into your fat pad honestly can make that difference. And so I think that that's kind of an asinine marker for most people to be able to determine like fractional improvements on the order of like millimeters. I think that's like people who document millimeters of growth, like that's not how I do it, okay? I'm not saying it's wrong, guys. First of all, guys, clown in a mask. That's me. Why is there 66 people here listening to me in the first place? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I just make this shit up, okay? So that being said, like if you hear something I say don't consider it gospel. Like, do your own research and figure out what works for you. Um, because I'm only human and I only know like what I know, and I don't do that metric, but I do track my stretch flaccid length, and I have a like just in my iPhone app thing, whatever, where I will my notes app, and I would just document like once a month, like what's my stretch flaccid length, erect length, like all of my numbers once a month, and I try to do it in a standardized fraction. So HJJHM says, "Has he crashed out yet?" Hi, Hank. I don't know, man. I think I kind of crashed out, like not full on rant, but whew, man, I want to crash the absolute. I want to have the crash out of crash outs, and maybe one day I will. But today is not that day. But man, yeah, I really do. So, so JV says, please don't cuss, Hink is hunk. It's Sunday morning here in OZ. Where's OZ? I don't even know what that stands for, man. Uh, C Dub says Christian is to be Christ-like. Yeah, Christian is to be Christ-like, and I will certainly do. I don't know. I do the best I can. Uh, I won't say I do the best I can. I could be better about it. Um, but also, I'm human, and to be human is to sin. So yeah. So I don't know. Only Jesus was perfect, guys, and Lord knows I am not Jesus. Um, Red Maroon, what's up, man? So YouTube needs to make a special love button just for Hink's channel. They have that. They have that. It's the like button. So guys, hit that. Oh, OZ equals Australia. I gotta take Sunday school class after this, JV. All right, man. All right, I'll try to do better. I'll just it's the like the messed up thing. That's where I am right now in my life, guys. Is like I got the nicest compliment, and that caused me to crash out because I just think. I mean, honestly, like when things are not reciprocal, and there's very ungrateful people that'll take advantage of you and then make it seem like you did them wrong. And I talked about that. I had a situation not too long ago, but it's like it's been a theme. It's been a theme. So anyways, Hickman IS says, "Love you, man. Because of you, I know that I can grow my pee." Thanks, bro. I love you too, man. And I certainly hope that you can be consistent and get the gains that you want. And so, Trim, Trium, says, Hink, I started PE 1 week ago and I'm doing manuals 30 minutes per day. When should I increase and how many times per day should I do them? So I think manuals, personally, I think it's really hard to do like 60 minutes of manuals. Um, and so I think for that reason, it's better to split it up with a twice a day approach, BID. So when you do that, you get you still get that's that 60-minute number, and but it's actually split up. So uh yeah. So yeah, and so when could you extend them? I think if you're a beginner, I would wait I would wait a month. Like certainly 20 to 30 minutes is in the first month is more than sufficient. I would say that over the next couple of months. Um, so so yeah, so what I would do is just at least give it a month of just gradual workup, make sure you tolerate it, and then you can yeah. Sorry, I'm reading messages and getting distracted. So, Triumph says, so my boy Ronald says, Hink, I'm gonna have to unfollow you if you don't get to 9 by January. I could just be like some of these other PE influencers and just lie. I'm saying I'm 9 and take a picture with with my ruler, but I'm like taking the picture up here. I could just do one of those and then be like, oh, look at me. This is proof that this shit works. I could do that. Um, Come on, man. Uh, but no, if I get there, I'm gonna get there. Honestly, guys, I'm not doing much PE right now, and so, so yeah. So, Duke Fresh, appreciate the super chat, my guy. Says, been dying to know the wall rack behind you, fourth or fifth row from the top. Are the orange ones the retro OG taxis? My first pair of J's ever. Still have them on the wall on this like this rack. Uh, 4th or 5th row from the top. Oh, are you talking about you must be talking about that rack over there? Are the orange ones no, they're the shattered backboards. These are the so OG shattered backboards. Gosh, now I forgot, like 2019, is that when these came out? Oh, look at the quality, look at the softness of the leather. But I don't know. Hopefully these are what you're talking about. But these are the orange ones. Yeah, shattered backboards. So my first pair of J's ever, still have them. Uh that's awesome, man. I don't even remember what my first pair of Jordans is. Is that's no, I do. It was the Jordan 11s, Jordan 11 Concords. And so those guys right there. Oh, there we go. Right there. Okay. These right here, just with all white and a Carolina blue Jumpman. Hink. So yeah, so thanks for the super chat, man. And hopefully that helps uh answer your question. If not, let me know. So Mr. Tula says, Hink, can you tell if this is a sign of future growth? Hink, can you tell if this is a sign of future growth? I don't know what that means, man. Mr. Tula, help me out, bro. So Duke Fresh says, "Yeah, those are the ones. I have them just a lighter shade of orange." So, so Doc 72 said, "Do they benefit your portfolio?" What was that guy's name? It wasn't Vincent. It wasn't Vincent, but I always wanted because I see this guy named Vincent in here, and I always think of that guy. It's like, oh, maybe it was Charles, and he was like, "You're buying sneakers, and I'm buying stocks." Like, all right, bro. Oh my gosh. Yeah, yeah. And guys, I've accumulated this stuff over the years, and I think I know this is like PE only, but like, a lot of these shoes that I bought is actually from selling shoes that I've had. So right before the pandemic hit, I actually had the foresight to, like, buy up a bunch of Jordans, and so, like, I bought up, I don't know, probably, like, 30 pairs of Jordans, and I sold them all for, like, at least double what I paid for. So I made a bunch of money, and I bought a lot of these sneakers with that money, or these are sneakers that I've literally accumulated over in my entire adult life of approximately 45 years, and I've just kept the box, and so I'm not out here like buying all this stuff. But anyways, man, let's see. Red Maroon says, I'm restarting doing 10 minutes of pumping in the morning, 1 hour extender and 30 minutes in the pump. Manuals for at least an hour. I want an 8-inch PP. Good for you, Red. I um wish I had more time. I might have some time, guys. I might have some time. There comes a point in life where like you might just be like, F it, certain things just aren't worth it to me anymore. And there's certain things that just like it's not worth my time and energy and more so stress. Like guys, I'm not a super rich dude. That'd be nice to be. Like I have what I need and like I don't have to worry about like budgeting for groceries. I don't have to worry about like, oh, when I go to a restaurant, like, oh, I wonder how much this cost. And so I'm doing fine from that perspective. Um but, uh but I'm not, like, out here, driving around in a Lamborghini, you know what I mean? And so, like, peace is, like, priceless to me, and yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Peace is priceless, and there might just come a time not this, guys. I like doing this, okay? So, anyways, um Oof. What time is it? Oh, we got 5 minutes. Let me make sure. Did I get all the other so Mr. Tula, I still don't know what that question means, Mr. Tula. Send me a follow-up question. Feel the burn. What's up, my guy? How's the hair stuff going? I feel the guy. Let me know, guys. Let me know actually right now in the chat. So I want to make a follow-up video about like finasteride and hair loss. Um, so it's gonna be a video about like some more data on finasteride, some more data on, like, the potential harmful effects of it, other options beside finasteride, and so but, I don't know if you guys want want that video. So if you don't mind, just let me know with the poll above, like if you're interested. And please don't be honest, guys. Like I don't want you to say like yes to try to like hype me up if you're not going to watch the video. Like I want just an honest response. I'm probably still going to make it anyways because I am very much still trying to reverse my hair loss, and there comes a point when I probably just need to let it go. Uh, but uh, but yeah, I've done a pretty good job, of actually I've done a very good job of reversing it actually, and people are like, "Wow, I can't t you look 10 years younger," and I'm like, "Oh, thanks." But it's like very aggressive hair loss restoration. So, yeah, so, Samuel, appreciate the super chat. CHF, I wonder what, I don't know what that is, man. What is the training plan? 20 seconds stretching in all directions and then 3 to 5 minutes pumping? No. So if you thank you for the super chat first and foremost, if I didn't say that already. Um, but in my training plan is actually like with manual stretches, I think the most important thing is straight down. And so like you could, in my opinion, literally just do like you could even just like put your hand on your D and just let gravity. So like let gravity of your like arm weight just pull your D down and just do like honestly use your D like a hanger. It might require you doing a little like Captain Morgan where you put your leg up like on here and then you're like kind of pulling down like that. But um and I would do that, but I would do it for at least like 15 to 20 minutes, at least if you're trying to gain length. And then 3 sets of 5 minutes, I think that's good. I just think it would be the caveat I would put on there is one warm up set of 5 minutes and then 3 sets of 5 minutes. And so I think that's a pretty good routine otherwise. All right. So poll is at about it's at about 50-50. No, 56% yes, want a hair loss in like finasteride dangerous video, and about 44% don't. So if you guys haven't voted, hit that, just vote for me real fast. Um, to me, that's enough to still make the video because that means at least half of what I would say is some of my more like diehard followers that are here right now and actually have like alerts on are interested. So yeah. Uh, so yeah, that's good to know. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you that feedback. Um, Let's see. So the Brazilian, I'm sorry, man. I've seen this question and I'm not trying to intentionally duck it, but he says, "Is length difficult to gain if you already have a long circumference?" Um, hmm. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think the more tissue you have and the thicker that tissue, it might be a little bit harder to enlarge. But to me, like that is the ideal situation. Length is so much easier to gain than girth for most people. I would say probably about 90% of people. Actually, I'm curious what the chat says about that. Start a poll. Which is easier to gain in your experience? Length, girth. So let me know, guys. But yeah, in my opinion, like length is like 1,000 times easier than girth. It's not even close. And so to have like a fat hog and just to make it longer, like that would be the dream, man. And then like you don't have to worry about like pumping or clamping or any of these things that have discoloration. You can just stretch it out. Um, so yeah, man. Uh, so Elijah said, I gained 1.2 inches in length and almost nothing in girth. Yeah, for sure. NMS Nutrition Doc says girth is easier for me. Good for you, man. Like with girth is girth volumetrically makes your PP bigger, and most women care far more about girth than length as long as you don't have like, as long as you have enough to like penetrate deep. Not even necessarily deep, but like as long as you have like 5 inches to go in, like you should be good, especially if you have girth. And actually, a lot of the adult stars, what I'm realizing is that their length is not that crazy, but their girth is like off the chain for the most part. Okay. And so, and how do I know that, guys? Because I'm doing research for you guys, and so if you appreciate that research, hit the thumbs up button. So CHS is Swiss francs. Awesome, man. Um, Switzerland is one of the prettiest places I've ever been in my entire life. Yeah, for sure. Gosh, And so if I was like a very wealthy person, I would have a house in Switzerland. I guess I would have to say super wealthy actually. Um, so 15-minute down without pause. And so like what I would say is so like you're pulling down, all right? And so then like your hand's gonna get tired. And this is my hand at the base, okay? So hand is at the base. I'm pulling down with this hand, okay? Pulling down, but this hand's gonna get tired. And so I'll probably switch hands, okay? And when that happens, uh, uh let's see. Oh, my guy 19 expansion X just messaged me. Anytime anybody messages me while I'm on a live, I think like either my D is out or something extremely embarrassing is happening. So Swiss francs. So yeah, but anyways, you just switch when your hand gets tired. Okay, is basically the long and short of it. Um, let's see here. Da, 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 da. Oh, and also, guys, do need to make a brief correction. Because my guy 19 expansion 2x he messaged me and he corrected me because I was talking about compression hanging with, being cut, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, retract the foreskin," but I also prefaced it by saying, "I'm not cut and I don't use any devices," but he said, he's an uncut compression hanger specialist, and so rule number 1 of uncut compression hanging, this is per his message, is, you don't retract the foreskin, you let it hang. Retraction is only for extending, okay? Um, so yeah, so just to make that correction, and I appreciate him reaching out because I only wanna put out accurate information, and I'm not cutting, I don't use devices, so, yeah, and, man, my eyes are looking kinda light tonight, what's good? Um, so guys, it's past 6:15, I want and I gotta go, so, something I saw so yeah, 70% of people say that length is easier, um so, Intimacy Nutrition Doc says, "House of Guinness will F you up." Uh, yeah, so season 1, episode 3, don't watch it, especially don't watch it. Apparently, there's a D scene, and so, like, I'm tempted to watch it just so I can, like, react to it, basically. But yeah, man. Let's see. Evergreen says, "What's up, Hink? What size were you when you started PE, and what have you gained?" I don't like talking about my starting size. Like, I understand why people want to know about it. Like, it's documented. It's not like, I mean, honestly, it's out there with pictures right now. You can see exactly what my starting size was, but like, I don't think it matters. Like, and I don't want like to me there's like an expert fallacy that is associated with like what size you are now. Like to me, it would be far more impressive if I knew somebody that did PE and went from 4 to 6 than somebody that went from like 7 to 8.5. But a lot of people would be like, "Oh, that guy has an 8.5-inch hog. Like that's who I want to listen to." When really the guy who had the smaller hog that like made it bigger is more impressive gains. And so I don't like to talk about my personal size right now depending on how I angle and how I sit and how good my erection quality and blah blah blah, like I can if I'm seated with like amazing EQ, I can actually touch like the 2-inch gain mark. But that's not real, guys, because I'm seated. It doesn't count, okay? I'm not gonna be like other people. Oh, look at me, but dirt. Oh, if I take the picture from all the way up here, it looks like I'm a massive hog. Um nah, don't crash out in the last couple seconds. Oh my gosh. So anyways, man, yeah, but if I'm just standing, I put on about depending like 1.5 to 1.7. Okay, just depending on my EQ, depending on the time of the day, depending on all these things. So yeah, man. Uh so anyways, yeah, I'm gonna run now, guys, because I'm on the verge of crashing out and I don't want to do that. So anyways, yeah, anything no, Mr. Tula, it says I'm blocked. No, oh, So Brome press 7.5, flaccid is 8.5, stretch measure inside the apex. Bro, I don't know what that means, Mr. Tula. Like I don't know what that means, man. Damn. So uh So Bezos says, years of body dysmorphia led me to thoughts of an early exit. You are enough gave me hope and a path and a bigger D as proof. The goat, thanks, goat. Man, I really appreciate that, man, and I really appreciate it. And it's like messages like this that actually help me when I read some of the. I try not to read too many comments just because honestly, people are people, but every now and then I see a bad one and I'm like, oh, like "Oh, why would you make a video talking about this and interview?" It's like, well, so I can help some guy that's like, "Wow, I always thought dread was 15 inches long. He's not? Oh, wow, that's actually helpful." So I really appreciate that, man. And I've talked about this before, but there's a book and it's called like The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse, something like that. But anyways, one of the most meaningful parts of that, like, book that almost no, I did actually shed a tear reading it, but, like, I think it's the mole that is talking to the boy, and he says, "Always remember, you are enough." And I was just like, "Holy shit, man." Like, if somebody would've told me that when I was a kid, like, the difference that it would've made, who knows? Maybe I wouldn't be where I am in life because I wouldn't have the same motivations, but I think that that can be very powerful to have somebody tell you that, and so that's why I say it, and I mean it sincerely. So thank you, man. I really appreciate that, Bezo. Um, so Samuel, thank you for the super chat once again. He says, "Do you have more details to stretching routines?" And so, bro, like I'm not trying to hawk my course to you, but like on my enlargement course, the link is in the description. I literally take you through step by step the different stretches, how to do them safely according to me, how long to do them, the different positions. And so that's what I would recommend. I took down my manual stretching video on here. I might like bring it back up, but guys, there's a lot of free information on the different subreddits of and there's even certain demonstrations that you can see. And so yeah, so before you buy my course, unless I mean, I don't know, you're living in Switzerland throwing out super chats like it's nothing, you might wanna just see what you can find for free online. If that doesn't have what you need, then yeah, you consider buying the course, man. Um, but yeah, that's gonna do it, guys. I really, 19 expansion 2x says the real crash out deserves a full video. You'd get 1,000,000 views in a month. Maybe one day, man. I don't want to be an angry person and I don't want to be and I don't want that negativity. And I'm hoping that once I move past this chapter of my life, that it's just I just move on and just say F it and just not like take shots at people or kind of I just want to move past it and be past it. So anyways, man. Um so yeah, all right. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'm already 10 minutes longer than I said I would be, but I hope you guys have a great rest of the weekend. Tomorrow I'm probably gonna be trying to go live maybe around like 2 o'clock ish Eastern time. Okay. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. But yeah, and on that note, you are enough, just as you are, guys. All right. Peace and love.